Welcome to the channel. This is Geauxgreddy and welcome to Daily Race C. This race is at Spa and we're battling in the Group 1 cars as we fight through the dirty air and these blasted hard tires to try and find a way around each other without getting one of those dreaded GT Sport penalties. Can we do it? You have to stick around to find out. All right. Lobby opens up and I am sitting in P5. Someone had gotten kicked from the lobby, but in here you got Piranha V Superstar. We got 100 PBZ three-way. Got Girthquake in here, Andre Sav. A bunch of familiar names. Some really fast guys in this lobby, so personally I'm going to feel pretty good finishing 5th in here. As we start off, starting 5th means I get the honor of starting in the chicane. Nothing like it. So if you're in position 5 or 6, that you get that honor. GT Sport gives you the pleasure of having to start right here in the middle of the curve. So you just got to kind of roll in the throttle and hope for the best. And I do it, and I managed to do it pretty well. Didn't lose too much time to P4, excuse me, which is Girthquake. Now Girthquake, a former control pad player, was blistering fast on the control pad, and wouldn't be surprised if he was up in P1 had he been playing on the pad. But tonight he is on the wheel. As I understand it, he has gotten a wheel and he is learning how to drive that wheels. I have to lift there through Eau Rouge, the cold tires. You know, not being kind to old Greddy through Eau Rouge. Anyway, heading down the Kemmel Straight, heading toward Lake Holm. Get on the brakes there just before the 100 board and just try to be smooth through this section of corners. Maintain as much speed as possible. And be on the gas there at that apex so you can power out as you head down towards Bruxelles here. As you can see, the group in front pretty tight. 1 through 4 all looks like they might be within each other's slipstream. I am not, however, in the slipstreams. You see that beautiful Rebellion livery that someone made. I wish I took note of who made that livery. I was just searching through some replica liveries, and this is his guy's rendering of what a Rebellion livery could look like. I really liked it, so I thought I'd slap it on there. So as we head down towards Stavelot here, you can look at the time differential. I'm 1.5 seconds behind Girth, and I've got Drex 125, who's about 2.5 seconds behind me, and he is in, I believe, the Peugeot diesel Group 1 car. So I'm not too worried about him catching me, as he's not going to have any of that hybrid battery juice coming out of the corner, so I'm going to be leaving him pretty good out of the corner. So not too worried about Drex 125. Girthquake in front of me is in the Toyota TS050, which is what we are in, which seems to maintain its battery life pretty well around Spa, unlike the Audi R18. That 100 PBZ three-way is running in this race. Now, he got a really nice start on lap 1 because he's got that nice full battery for that first lap, but once that Audi deplenishes that battery, it really has a tough time recovering the rest of the race. So he may struggle a little bit later on trying to hold off Piranha V Superstar and Girthquake as the laps begin to build up. So right now, old Greddy's just trying to get good exits out of corners, be smooth, and just trying my darndest to get in the slipstream so I have a chance at possibly making a pass, which is no easy task here in the Group 1 cars when you get in the dirty air. So fast forwarding on to lap number 3, as you see 100 PBZ three-way gets passed by Girthquake in Eau Rouge. As I said, that Audi R18 gonna fall off as the laps grow on, and that puts me 1.6 seconds behind 100 PBZ three-way and about 4.5 seconds in front of now Baby and Vortex Miranda. So Drex 125 already falling back 2 positions in the Peugeot. So here we are on lap number 3. Again, another look at that Rebellion livery that I do like so much. In that cinematic camera mode, the one thing GT Sport definitely did right was this third-person camera mode in the replays. So you can see that group of 4 up front still pretty tight, and old Greddy, he's not getting left in the dust. So those fast guys up front allowing me to stick around, and I'm just hoping to build some DR here and not kill my SR. So I am really happy in 5th place right now. Those are A+ and high A drivers in front of me. So it's looking like if I can just stay here the rest of the race, I can get a DR up and just creep ever closer to that A+ goal that I had set myself, achieved, and then lost through an SR DR reset a few months ago. So still making my way back up from that, that tragedy that occurred back at Monza, back in the FIAs. I guess that was a couple seasons ago. So still haven't quite recovered yet. Getting on the brakes there just past that white line that's on the asphalt, coming out of the bus stop chicane and heading down the front straight here towards La Source. And look at that. I am getting ever closer to the slipstream. The Audi may be helping me out here a little bit by losing that battery power, allowing me to get into the slip while he still hangs out in Girthquake slip. So as we head down towards Eau Rouge and Raidillon, I am just hoping to just get ever further into that slipstream and just, stay tight and not hopefully lose 100 PB in the corners as I get the dirty. And I got a choice here. I can go to the inside, but I choose not even to peek because, to be quite honest with you, nothing really would have happened. I would have just had to come back over behind him anyway. So just stay behind 100 PB there and trying to get a feel for what it's like in the slipstream. As I head down into the tight right-hander, that is Bruxelles coming out. Like I said, I just want to be in that slipstream as we head towards, for me, one of the hardest corners on the track was Pouillon, which you wouldn't think it would be. There's not a whole lot to it. Just brake here before the box, get down to the inside. Then when you see the open up, get on the gas. As you look ahead, Girthquake goes a little wide through Pouillon there, which gives an opportunity for 100 PBZ three-way to send it down the inside in the Audi. Now, he probably had a little battery juice saved up coming out of Pouillon, so was able to maybe shoot on by Girth through that section. Like I said, Girth is in the Toyota TSO 50. Same as me, as I completely and totally missed my apex by about a quarter of a mile right there, which is not going to be good for my exit speed coming down into Blanchimont. So this is where you want to carry a lot of speed, and I just had an absolutely horrible exit out of Stavelot there. So I lose a bit of the slipstream. So head towards the chicane, get on the brakes there again, right where that white line crosses, just after it. Get a little drifty coming through the chicane, get back on the power. I'm trying to get back in that slipstream of Girthquake as we head down towards La Source. Get on the brakes there before the 100-meter board. Get a little drifty again through La Source, but manage to just get in the Girth slipstream as we're heading down towards Eau Rouge. As you can see from the view there, all three of us in each other's slipstream. Down through Eau Rouge into Raidillon, cut the curb and get into the grass a little bit right there, trying to just make up every tenth of a second I can to try and stay in these two fast guys' slipstreams, doing, just hoping to get a good result. Now, if you look behind me there, Vortex Miranda has moved into sixth. Path Baby. Raced Miranda before. He is also a pretty quick guy. Usually he's up near the front of these leaderboards or these races in the dailies, but today starting behind a rather large group of us. I don't know if he just hasn't sat down and put in the time or what. So as we head towards Pouillon, got things to start to worry about now, as that lead I had over P6 is dwindling. And I'm struggling in the dirty air of P4, whether it's Girthquake or 100 PBZ three-way. I just can't seem to make things happen. Trying to brake a little earlier, trying to get it down into the corner, into the apex earlier, because the front end just so pushy in that dirty. As you can see, I'm trying to stick to the inside of Girth, right through Stavelot and Campus, heading out into Blanchimont. And finally, I got a decent slipstream. Then the next thing you got to be careful of is as you come through Blanchimont, that you don't send it too wide coming out this corner and get a penalty for running out wide right here. So you can see I lift right there just to make sure I don't, because I'm not going to really be able to make a move right here. So I get on the brakes there again, the white line, and if I'm going to make a move where I want to make it is on the Kemmel Straight. But Girth getting a nice exit out of the chicane, putting the power down, pulling out away from me, but I'm still within that 3/4 of a second slipstream range. I just want to have a nice smooth La Source, get back on the power. Unfortunately, Girth's still in the slipstream of 100 PBZ three-way, so he's getting the pull down as I'm getting the pull through here. So I'm unable to make up any time on Girth down the Kemmel Straight, but fortunately, it's also allowing me to pull away from Miranda a little bit, as like I said, he is charging hard from the back towards the front. Meanwhile, Eric GTR and Piranha V Superstar kind of starting to put some distance on this group of three that's behind him. We're a full 7 seconds back as I hit the bollards coming through the right-hander heading down towards Bruxelles there after Lake Combe. Man, those things will absolutely put the brakes on your car if you hit them. I don't know what they're filled with. They sound like they're like little rubber ballers, but goodness, you hit them. They absolutely just slow you down, like putting the anchor down. Let's fast forward on to lap number 7. Side by side is Girthquake and 100 PBZ 3-way, and Girth gets a penalty as they just rub fenders going through Lake Holmes, which that is an opportunity now for myself to possibly make an overtake and move into P4 if, and that's a big if, can stay on the back bumper of 100 PBZ 3-way. As we look at the left-hand corner at that delta, I'm just barely in the slipstream, but Miranda has worked well within the slipstream of me, so now getting pressure from behind, serious pressure from behind now, as he's moved all the way back from like P9 or so into P6. And I am fighting that dirty air to stay within 100 PBZ 3-ways slipstream through part of the track that I seem to struggle at quite a bit, especially Stavelot. I just always seem to miss this apex. Felt like I'd done okay there, but I still seem to fall out of the slipstream. Just a little lift there as I fight that dirty air. And, it doesn't seem that Miranda had the same trouble that I did. But nothing I can do about that. All you can do is just put the head down, focus on the guy in front of you, and try and catch him up before we get to the Kemmel Straight. So I'm going to get on the brakes right there at that white line on the road before that sign that crosses the racetrack. Go through the chicane, come out, get a pretty decent exit. As you can see, the four of us now all in a line heading down towards La Source. Dropping the anchor there, get on the brakes, turn it down, and 100 PBZ 3-way goes a little bit wide, which gives me the opportunity to slip into his slipstream. He's in the R18. You can see his battery is just not making the power as we come out of Lost Source. I actually have to back off a little bit because I was catching him right in about the worst place possible at the bottom of Eau Rouge. Nowhere really to go right there. So I back off a little bit, get a run on him as we head down the Kemmel Straight. Girthquake serves his penalty. It seemed like 100 PBZ 3-way backed off a little bit. Maybe he felt like he was the cause for Girth's penalty. Not really sure, but it did feel like he backed off just a hair. But I make 2 positions on the overtake, so now I am in P3, and the pressure is on. We're on lap 8. It's been a long race so far. I mean, we're 7 laps in, about 14 minutes of racing. The palm's a little bit sweaty. The old steering wheel a little slippery in the grips. As I head down towards Pouillon, like I said, not my best corner on the track, as you can tell right there. Struggle a little bit through that corner. Girth just right there in my slipstream. Now, I know Girth is very quick, and I know if he was on controller, he would be eating me up right now. But lucky for me, he is on the wheel, so I might actually have a chance to stay out in front of him and Miranda struggling to find a way around Girth behind me, and I'm able to put a little bit of time on him. Not much, a couple tenths, but well, I tell you what, old Greddy will take every tenth he can get at this point in the race. Piranha V Superstar and Eric GTR absolutely just kind of left us in the dust here as we're a full 7.5 seconds back. All this battle we've been doing. Girthquake goes wide as we head towards the braking zone just before the 150 board. Miranda gets into the back of me, punts me off the track. Girth goes around the outside, 100 PBZ 3-way, backs off just a little bit, lets me get back on track. Let's look at that again. Miranda just getting on the brakes a little bit late, trying to get around Girth, but I'm right there. There's nowhere for him to go, but he does back off, lets me take the position back on the road. He did apologize after the race, so I know he didn't really mean to hit me there, but did hurt my position as Girth was able to go around me through the chicane. Luckily, I didn't get reset. Luckily, I did not go through the shadow realm, as that is one of the places on the track where if you go too deep in that corner, it will reset you back on the track. So fortunately for me, that did not happen as we are on the penultimate lap. And I am still in it for third. I am within the slipstream of Girthquake as we head down towards the Kemmel Straight. after getting smoked from behind there by old Miranda. Trying to get that position back, but brake just too late there. And that's going to compromise my exit in the second corner. As you can see how much ground 100 PBZ three-way made up on me just for that one tiny mistake. I'm telling you, with these guys, every little mistake hurts you severely. As we head down to Bruxelles, you will see 100 PBZ three-way drifting Bruxelles and managed to still hold off Miranda. Now heading down towards Pouillon. I am losing time to Girth as he is scampering off a little bit there. He pulls that gap out to almost a full second. So that mistake I made at La Source just really hurt me. Try to be smooth heading down this corner. It looks like I do a pretty good job there. Pick up a little bit of time on Girth. Looking in the rearview mirror, 100 PBZ three-way. Miranda really fighting hard behind me, so that's helping me out. Trying to get into that slip as hard as I can to hopefully make a run on Girthquake through Blanchimont. Maybe set up something for after the chicane. Maybe get a pass on the Kimmel Straight. Can we do it? Only one way to find out. Now I am 0.6 behind Girth, so I am in the slipstream. 100 PBZ three-way still in my slip. Get on the brakes there again, right there around the 150 board. Have a decent chicane. Girth pulls a little bit on me heading into the chicane, about 0.2 or so. I have a little bit better exit, but man, he is able to hold me off through there. Now I need a really good La Source to possibly get in that suction zone of the Toyota in front of me. And I just barely do so. As we head down into Eau Rouge and Radion, Miranda passes up PBZ three-way, but I have a 1.25 seconds on them, so they are not in my slipstream. But I'm too far back behind Girthquake to make anything happen through the Kimmel Straight. Heading towards La Source on the final lap. Trying to get my brake points just right. Hit my corners perfectly to try and pull in as close as I can to Girth. Hopefully to set up any opportunity that I can at a pass. Meanwhile, keeping one eye in the rearview mirror as I know Miranda is going to be charging hard. So he's got a little bit of clean air now. And he can move up onto my rear bumper. Miranda very quick around here at Spa. He is also in the Toyota, so I know he's got that battery power to be able to power out of these corners. You can see he already cuts off 0.2. Pouillon, again, not doing me any favors as I lose about 1/10 to Miranda and not really gaining on Girth. Now, into this next right-hander, I'm able to pick up a little bit, but then he seems to get on the gas a little bit early. He's able to extend it back out right away on me. Coming through this section of the course, again, not too hot through here. I actually got on my apex there for the first time, but then I have to lift right here as we head down to Blanchimont. Really needed to be flat through there, but I was afraid of getting on that Astra on the outside and losing the rear end of the car. Had just enough space between me and Miranda where I felt like I didn't have to hold it flat through there. He is 0.5 behind me, but will he send it in the final chicane like he did a few laps earlier? Get on the brakes there after the white line. Had set my brake balance to 0 to give myself as much braking force as possible. So you can see the battery's fully charged, so no concern there with not having enough juice coming out the other side. And I finished in P4. I was pretty pleased with that considering the lobby and the guys that I was racing against. I will take that DR, I'll take that 4th place, and I'll put her in the bank. It was a fun race. Man, it was tight the whole way. Always some action going on. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like and or subscribe, and come back and check out some more videos. For myself, Geauxgreddy, y'all have a great evening. DJcLean, take us out of here.